AYRO designs and produces low-speed electric vehicles and other solutions that leave minimal impact on carbon emissions. And with me is Kyle Manzanti, the Senior Vice President of Business Development. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Jane.
So let's just start a little bit. Give me an overview of the company. AYRO, what are they doing, and what business are you in?
Yeah, so we build low-speed electric vehicles. We're in the utility segment right now and expanding into two other segments as we speak. It's a fairly wide lane. There's not a lot of offering in the space that we're in, so we fit between some full-size vehicles and kind of modified utility golf carts. But we build to a different spec. We build to almost a luxury premium aspect in how we put the vehicles together. And what I would say is, when you build an automotive spec, you probably can relate that more to your own personal vehicle. You have certain expectations for quality and dependability. That's the lane that we're in.
Okay, so I was going to ask about the low-speed vehicles. So what does that mean exactly?
That's a vehicle that is governed at 25 miles an hour or under. They only operate on streets that are posted 35 miles per hour and under. So they're used in a variety of ways. In fact, it's easier to figure out where they're not appropriate, particularly in the kind of vehicles that we're building. Okay.
What makes that market appealing?
Well, for us, first of all, I guess selfishly, the economy of it. Right now, it's a little over a $10 billion a year industry. In the next 4 years, it's going to grow another 5. So if you have this park of $15 billion and it's growing at a compound average growth rate of over 7%, it makes it very appealing financially. The other thing is it's a space right now that's only been occupied by modified golf carts, basically. And that's not what we're doing. We're building a real vehicle to real automotive specs.
Okay. It would be on the roads and everything.
It will be on the roads.
Yeah.
And I think there's this huge momentum right now. Organizations all over the world are trying to electrify mobility solutions. And we're a big part of that. And we hope with those numbers, too, we're going to be a big growth factor of that as well.
So describe who would be all of your potential customers.
Well, in addition to a very robust dealer network around the world, there really are large channel partners, and all of them have approached us already, by the way. But let me give you an example, because as I look out the window here in New York, it's pretty easy to answer that question. So you've got blue trucks, you've got yellow trucks, you've got brown trucks, you've got red, white, and blue trucks. And those trucks are hauling packages. And all those basic channel partners are future customers of ours, and several of them have actually even discussed that with us. In addition to that, you have large fleet managers that are managing thousands and thousands of units. You have the government that every year they buy 100,000 electrified vehicles from various people. You have material handling companies, you have rental companies. I mean, the park is enormous. It's hundreds of thousands of units. Yeah. So it's not onesie-twosies.
Yeah. Now, there are some other companies in this space. So what would separate AYRO, would you say, from those?
Again, as we talked about before, if you go back to your own personal vehicle, there's a reason that you drive what you do. There's probably things about the brand that you love, maybe the dependability, the quality, the performance, ergonomics. There's something about that vehicle that you want to put your stamp on. But overall, it's built to an automotive specs as well as commercial vehicles. So if you think in terms of that and you think about who's providing vehicles like that, we're the only one. So there's a huge differentiator, and the proof is in the pudding for sure, but when you compare product to product, there really is no comparison.
Now, you've got something called the AYRO Vanish. So is that a vehicle? Describe that to me.
Yeah.
Give me some examples of applications for the Vanish.
Yeah, so it's a utility vehicle that is basically go anywhere, do anything. Let me use, again, a New York analogy if I can. Right down the street, you have something called Madison Square Gardens. And I've been there before. It's a big building. Yeah. It's a big arena building. You have those all over the country, maybe not as grand as Madison, but there's a lot of materials that flow in and out of that building. How do you effectively and efficiently get those materials in and out of the building? Well, an electrification solution is great because you can drive those inside a building without any impact. Also, if you just think about practical things like when you have a concert venue, for instance, Billy Joel, right? He's got to move that stuff in and out of that arena constantly. That's a lot of material. So if we can help with that solution, that's where we stand tall.
And so the Vanish would be kind of just transporting things in and out of large buildings. Is it available yet, or?
It's going to be available just in a few weeks.
Okay.
And one of the things about the Vanish that makes it unique is it has a turning radius that's less than 15 feet. So I'm looking here at the studio. that vehicle could traverse this environment
Yeah.
very easily.
Maybe we bring a Vanish in next
We
time
will
you
do.
come by.
We will do that.
So, okay, so a couple of weeks we'll see the Vanish. So how many models are there right now?
Well, right now it's the utility segment that we're launching, which is the Vanish. Behind that we'll have the people mover and the golf cart slash car, because this golf car is amazing. It's the most beautiful vehicle ever built in the industry. But between those three segments, basically you're addressing a commercial segment, a utility segment. You have a people mover segment, and you know, it's very interesting. I was just on vacation recently and down in the south, and it was a whole community that wasn't necessarily gated, but they parked their cars and they used the golf car technology to move around. That's a trend that's not getting smaller. It's just getting bigger by the day.
When I was in Florida, I saw exactly that. People just drive the golf carts around, so on the streets.
Yeah.
So what's next for AYRO?
Well, we're going to continue to get these great products out and delivered. We have some early adopters that have already raised their hands, and those first units that we have coming out in August, those will go to them for validation and so forth, and they can start building their empire on the Vanish and the utility. We also have some exciting things going on with direct-to-consumer piece. We have a property down in Sarasota, Florida that will be opening. It'll be a showcase design center, so it'll be a direct-to-consumer opportunity. People can either go there and shop and you know, style their Vanish or Valor or Valet however they want, and or order online, which we've also done.
Well, Sarasota is where I saw those golf carts, so
Oh my
they have a
goodness.
market there.
It's a beautiful area.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kyle.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Been a pleasure.
Yep.